lot easier than just using like a log or something that takes absolutely forever. This and this flushing knife, a really nice thing to have. Just makes it for a really easier job than using a bone or a piece of wood or something that just takes forever. And with those two things, those are really nice. Then you will also need a stick. I'm just using a dowel, handles to something. Then you also need a barrel for mixing up your ashes and water. And this is just a garbage can. It's a garbage can. You probably don't want to use a metal one because something in the metal does something to the hide. And then this is just an ice chopper that I'm using for mixing the hide, and that works really well too. You can also use a stick, but I found out that with that flat edge, that really works for mixing and stuff. And then for the soaking the hide after getting all the hair off the brain stuff, you'll need 2 buckets, and then other buckets for putting the hair in, and then something for the brains. And yeah, that should be pretty much all you'll need. And you'll need like a board or a piece of cardboard for putting the hide on when you're gonna put the brains on it. But that's pretty much all you'll need for this hides. So, and also there's also gloves. You'll find some big rubber gloves so that you don't burn your hands in this stuff if you want to stick your hands in it or anything. But pretty much all you'll need for tanning hides. Okay, so here's 2 deer hides. I've had soaking in ashes and water for the past 3 days. Now I'm gonna take them out and rinse all the ashes off and get all the hair off and make some leather out of this. Okay, so I have both of them. I'm just gonna blast them off with water to get all the ashes out. Both the hides rinsed out, and now I got them all rinsed out so there's no ashes on the skin, so it won't stain the skin. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to degrain it and get all this grain out and all the hair off. So as you can see, I took the grain off of all this and the hair, and the hair just comes off really easily. As you can see here, it just comes off in chunks. And then you can see here, this still has grain on it, but this doesn't. So we just want to get all that grain off from right here. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, so as you can see, I took all the grain and hair off, so now it looks really nice. Now, I'm just gonna work on taking all this membrane off. If you put it in ashes and water and then it dyes this, so then you know when you scraped it off and stuff. Okay, so I just finished doing this hide. This is the hide I have left. And this is what the hides should look like before and after they are done. As you can see with this hide, it's just the skin. Got everything off of it. Looks really nice. And I just gotta do the same with that hide down there. And I'll be done. Okay, so as you can see here, I tied strings onto these hides so that when I put them in, because I'm going to put them in a creek to rinse them off and stuff, that's so that they don't float downstream. So that's a good thing to do, and put some rocks on top of it and stuff like that. Okay, so as you can see here, I just put them in a creek to rinse off, and I'm going to leave them there for overnight, which will be long enough. So leave them in there for most of the day. I tied these strings onto them and I tied it to a tree. That way they would not float down this creek. And yeah, once they're done, I'll show you what they look like. Okay, so I just pulled the hides from the creek. As you can see, they're nice and rinsed. So a couple things in and stuff. Now I just need to wring them out. Wring them out on this. And as you can see, it's a wire. So I just put this piece of hose over it to keep it from cutting the hide. And now I'm just going to be using that stick so that I can really get all the water out. And yeah, and then I'll show you how that's done. Okay, so when you are wringing out hides, first thing you want to start out with is having the hide hung up on whatever you're going to wring it on. First you want the neck flopped over on this side, and then you're going to want to grab the bottom, and you don't want it flopped over a lot. So, grab it, flop it over about that much. It's all stretched out. And now, what we're going to start to do is rolling this over. Do the same on both sides. it's already dripping. Now you have a spot to put your stick. We'll take our stick, put it through there. Now we'll just start twisting. Just get all the water out. Do this until it quits, and until it just starts dripping. You can put quite a lot of torque into these hides. So that's pretty good. Now we will undo it. As you can see, it's already starting to dry. A little bit on the inside there. Then we'll do it the other way. Undo it. You want to do it back and forth like this for, sort of see it's already starting to dry out, but you want to keep going back and forth different directions until for about 4 times each direction. The water will tend to pool up in here, so you sort of want to just shake it out a little bit. But that's how you ring a deer hide. And I'll show you the next step once I'm done with this. Okay, so I finished wringing it out and unrolling it. As you can see, it's nice and dry. It stretches when you pull on it. As you can see, I'm just going to stretch this out. And then I'm going to put the dressing on it. I'll show you how to do that too. Okay, so when you're stretching it, just want to pull it apart. All nice stretched out. As you can see, pulls and stretches really nicely. You just want to do that through the whole thing, and then we'll put the dressing. Okay, so I have both the hides laid out here. Now I'm just going to mix up brains here, and smear them all over these, and show you how it's done. Okay, so here's the brains that I just put in this container. I measured out, see that? ½ pound of brains. Gonna do that with a cup of water, warm water. You want warm water, not hot water, because hot water is not good for the hide. The best water is if you can barely keep your hand in it, that's the best stuff to have. So I can mix the water up and then I'll start smearing it all over the hide. Okay, so here I mixed up the brains. Now, I'm just gonna put some hot water in here. Just gonna open this up. I have a cup of hot water in here. Just gonna pour it in here with the brains. And just gonna start stirring that up. It's all mixed in, then I'm gonna put it on the hide. Okay, so I got the brains on these two. And as you can see, it's covered with brains and the water solution. I'm just gonna let that sit overnight. And then I'll check it out in the morning. Okay, so here the hides have been soaking overnight in this brain stuff, but now I'm gonna try something new. I'm gonna take pour half a gallon of warm water in. You want it to be pretty warm, not too warm, because you want it to be warm enough about where you can hold your hand in it, but because if it's too warm, it'll be too warm for the hide. So I'm going to do that. Pour the rest into this other bucket. It's just cool enough that I can keep my hand in it. Now I'm just going to take the hides and I'll put them in the buckets and let them soak for a while. So here I have them in the water and stuff. Just gonna slosh them around in there for a little while. As you can see, the water is starting to turn white. That's from the brains and stuff. Some brains on there. But the brains don't come off of those. I'll let them soak in this for a little while. Both of them. And then I'm gonna just let them, since I let the brains sit on them overnight, then I'm just gonna let them sit in here for only an hour, and then I'll come out and bring them out and start softening. Okay, so these have been soaking for an hour now. Soaked up. I'm just gonna hang them up on here, the same thing that I hung them up on to wring them out. Just gonna wring them out again. how I do that. Pretty much the same way I wrung them out when we took them out after rinsing. But yeah, I'll just do it the same way and then show you the next step. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just finding the neck. Once you found the neck, just right here, you're going to hang it up by the neck. Bring it out the best I can. This side. Drape the neck over this. Do it out like that. Put this bucket right underneath of it. This can be a messy job. Now, just gonna try to get as much of this green stuff out as possible. Don't want it to slip too much. Okay. Ugh. Okay, so there, I got some of it out. Now, just gonna put it up. Just like that, and then we're gonna do the same thing like we did with the ringing before when we took it out of the creek. And then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Now, before you start ringing, you want to stretch it out the best you can. Get it all nice and stretched out. Just do the same ringing thing that we did before, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. so I finished trimming this out. Now, I'm just gonna go through it. Find the spots that did not get totally wrung out, like this spot's still a little wet. I'm just gonna hand wring it. Get all that excess water out. And then I'm just going to stretch it. As you can see, it's already starting to turn white up here. I'm just going to keep stretching the hide in all different directions that I can, and you can do that till it dries, and then it'll be made into leather, which at the moment it's just wet right now. Not totally wet, I dried it off the best I could, but the more you work it, the softer it'll get, and the drier it'll get. You don't want to let it sit too long. You want to work it all over, like stretch the whole thing out, and you can let it sit for about a half an hour, and then you need to stretch it again. So I'll just keep stretching this, and then show you what it looks like when I'm pretty much done. Okay, so now I have my flushing board here, and I'm just using it to stretch the hide over. Just pull down, pull on either side. There's lots of different ways you can do this. This is the way that I do it because it does not take too much time. Just want to do this over the entire hide. And I'll just keep doing that over the whole thing. And then you can take breaks once in a while after you get it nice and stretched out. Just do that, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's pretty much dry. Okay, so here I've been doing the hide and softening it, stretching it and stuff. And here's what it looked like before I started stretching it. This stuff is still wet over here. And now, here's what it looks like now. It's getting soft and it's drying out. As you can see, it feels really nice. And I'll just keep doing this over the whole hide until it all feels like that and it's all nice and soft. And then right now it's white, and if you can keep it that color if you wanted to, but to make it buckskin color, I am going to smoke it, which will really make it darker and make it more like a brown color. So I'll just keep working on it until it gets all nice and soft, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, so here's another hide that I've been working on, and I have it stretched on one of these things that I built. And this one is not going to turn out like the other one because, as you can see, I did not get all that membrane off. So, because I was sort of in a hurry. But you want to make sure to get all that membrane off. Otherwise, it's going to just be stiff like this one is. And it does not look all that great, but I have it on this stretcher. See, it's all just stiff. It does not want to stretch out. But I have it on the stretcher, so hopefully that'll keep it all nice and stretched out so that it'll stay flat, so that maybe I can make belts out of it or some other kind of stuff that does not need soft leather for it. So at least it's nice and flat, but not turn out how I wanted it to. Just make sure that when you are tanning hides that you get all that membrane off stuff, otherwise it'll be stiff like this one is. So yeah, just make sure you get all the membrane off. Okay, so here's the first hide I did. I was just scraping it here with a scraper, trying to get it soft, but I don't think it's going to soften up that well. It is softening up a tiny bit where I scraped it, but this one, I did not get all the membrane off of it. It's stiff, as you can see. It's hard to bend it. Right here I can bend it, but in other places it's just hard. Might be able to make belts or gun holsters out of it or something. So I'll find something to make out of it. At least you know that you can always make something out of hides, even if they don't turn out. So this is another good thing, showing that you should get all the membrane off. Make your hide look like that. Okay, so here's the hide, and I finished softening it. There's some spots that turned out really nice and soft, like this. It's nice and soft around that area, all up through here. See, it bends real nice. Then there's some spots like down here, some of the thicker spots did not get totally softened. This is up by the neck. That did not get soft. And down here, did not get that soft. That's another thicker spot. And then the back, it did get soft, but not as soft as I would have liked it to be. See, this spot's pretty soft. But this spot down here is quite hard though. But it'll still work for making stuff, and so I don't think I stretched it out there enough. But it's a good lesson for the next hide. I'll just work on stretching it out there some more than these thinner areas. But yeah, the hide looks pretty good for at the moment. Now I just gotta smoke it and get that buckskin color in it. But anyway, pretty good. Your first hide won't turn out too well, but this is only my third hide here, and it turned out pretty well. But yeah, I'm happy with it. So there's pretty much what it looks like. This is what it should look like when it's all done getting stretched out and softened. But that's what it should look like, and I'll show you the next step.